guys, so I'm going to show you how you can create this colourful silhouette work in the style of Tyler Spangler digitally in Photoshop. So the first thing you are going to do is go to File and New. You're opening up a new A4 document. Again, portrait as always, so you will have obviously a range of compositions, profiles, expressions, etc. from your photo shoot. So I just have a stock image here that I am going to click and drag in, and you will do exactly the same. I'm going to hit enter to place. Now the first thing you are going to need to do is duplicate this layer. However, at the minute it's a smart layer, and if I was to drag it down to duplicate, it's just going to make another smart layer, which is not what we want. So I'm going to go Command A, Command C, and then Command V. So that's select all, copy, and then paste. I could get rid of my smart layer, and this is the one that I have. I want to now create a kind of seamless silhouette and remove my background and the hands from it. So using the lasso tool, so again it's third down on the left hand side, I am slowly going to start to trace around my model here. Now again, if you don't feel quite confident going as close to your model's face, you can leave a little gap and then you can tidy that up and refine it with the eraser tool. Again, you can see I'm going up here, and I want to have a little bit of the neck in there. So now this is the area that I am going to cut out. So it's just going to be Command and X to cut. And obviously you can see that I still have some kind of sections of the background here. So I'm going to go halfway down on the left hand side, and that is the eraser. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. And again, you can really take your time to refine your image. You can obviously make the decision on how detailed or how clean you are looking for your silhouette to be. So for example, with the eyelashes, if you wanted to keep them in, you can have them where you are kind of going in between them individually, obviously if you've got a slightly clearer image. But again, that is entirely up to you. What will be nice is you are going to be able to see the kind of steps that you need to take. If you want to remove that completely, you'll be able to know kind of straight away. So I have my image here. Let me just clean this a little bit at the top. So I now have my image. Now I want to change my image to black and white, and the way in which I'm going to do that is go to Adjustments. I'm going to click on black and white. It's half and half, and I want to increase the contrast slightly. So again, back to Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast. I'm going to increase my contrast slightly. Now if I put any layers underneath here, any coloured layers, because these are not yet merged, they will then go to a black and white, a tint or a shade. So what I'm going to need to do is remove the visibility away from my background layer, and I'm going to merge these layers. So go to Layer and then Merge Visible. And then I can put my background layer back on. So once I have this image, I am going to select all, copy and paste. And I want to make this my silhouette image, and the way that I do that is very, very easy. I just go to Adjustments, and then I am going to go to Exposure. So it's a little plus and the minus, and I'm going to take my exposure right down, and what should happen is it makes that entirely black. So again, I've got my layers on the side here. I have my background, my photograph that I won't be manipulating, and then this one I want to make my solid colour silhouette. So again, make sure it's highlighted in grey. I'm going to go to Adjustments, I'm going to go to Exposure, and then I'm going to drag that down. Again, it should make it completely solid and black at the moment. So again, if I then add any other layers, it's going to do the same to those. So I want to merge these two. So again, it's going to be Layer and then Merge Visible. And we now have this layer and this layer separately. So I need my photograph to be on top of my silhouette. So again, you're just going to drag that up. You can then start to position your kind of silhouette. You can determine how much of a relief you want, how kind of wide you want the colour to be. And again, this is where you can just really start experimenting with your colour and your placement. So you may wish to keep it relatively monochromatic. What I'm going to do is, before I start adding lots of layers, I need to select all of my silhouette, copy and then paste. And again, it's just Command A, Command C, Command V. So you've got a duplicate of that layer. And again, I'll need to drag layer to underneath, and you're going to start to gradually build. So whatever layer is on top in the layer bar on the right hand side, that is the one that you will see. So for example, if my layer 2 was above my light green, that's all I would see. So again, you're just going to need to experiment with your layering, the colours that you want. Again, if you want it monochromatic, so I would have it all greens. I might want it to be a rainbow. This is again where you can really experiment with your colour, your placement. You might want your photograph to be colour, you might want it to be a range of tints and shades or greys in the background. Again, this is where you can be really experimental, but you'll end up with something that looks like this. So again, having the evidence in your book of showing what it's like with a variety of colours, monochromatic colour scheme, playing around with your placement, even the photograph that you use, this is all going to help you with your assessment objectives.